Hello everybody, this is Joe being videos on the Jimmy Master Animatronics, and what I'm showing you today, this is a special video because I'm showing you a collection, a Seasonal Visions collection for once, of all the Lurching animatronics that we own from them. Now this one right here, yeah, he doesn't have his original arms. They're in the storage unit somewhere, so I just put some random arms from other Seasonal Vision items on it for now. His hands are misplaced. I don't know where they are. Somewhere in the storage unit, somewhere in one of these buckets. I don't know. The garage is a complete disaster. And he doesn't have his tie, which covers up this part, so that's why that's exposed. And that guy doesn't make noise either. I accidentally fried his noise last year, because it was still a 6-volt that I plugged into it, but the ampage wasn't right, so it fried his sound. This Lurching Reaper is Lucas's. That one's mine. This looming Strawman is mine. This one's Lucas's. I've tried to tell people many times that we have two, and I don't think a lot of people still know. His hand is misplaced in the storage unit somewhere. The problem is we haul these in one piece, and their hands and heads fall off. And when we set them down in the unit, the hands are, thrown in a bucket, or they're somewhere on the ground, buried under tons of other animatronics, So the parts are all still here. They'll be found. He's short because he has two set of poles that aren't attached. Again, they're here. We have so many bases, so many poles. I mean, that's why we're doing this so early, so that we get this stuff ready for when it's time. Anyways, yeah. Most of these were Spirit Halloween exclusives. Lurching Reaper was not. He was at Menards. He was on almost every Halloween website. Actually, I got mine from Walmart.com. I believe Lucas got his from Trendy. My Looming Strawman was from 2018. He was probably one of my favorite 2018 animatronics. Him, Michael, and Nightmare Harvester. They were the only ones I really liked that year. And so yeah. And one thing about the Looming Strawman, they retailed for $240, I believe, is that when you first use them, they barely move at all. They are so weak. It's not broken. Looming Strawman is one that you have to use about 50 times to 100 times in a row before they actually start moving fast. So I tested before I bought one, I tested all three that we had. All of them were very weak and barely moved at all. Well, when I used them for Halloween, it got faster and faster. Our display one never really had that issue. It was kind of fast off the start. It actually ended up getting so fast that sometimes his arms was reset 2 times. And the piece that makes him lurch broke off. I've been crazy gluing it many times. It holds up, but then it breaks again eventually. Actually, it broke the other day again because it fell over. So I have to crazy glue it again. The part that makes it lurch, this one's missing its belt or rope too. That's the part that breaks on the store display one at our store. The mouth moves so much on our store display too. I haven't even tested any of these two yet, so I don't even know how they work right now. And also for Looming Strawman, I also have the spring disconnected from the back that helps pull him back because it helps him lurch more. I'm thinking the reason the piece on ours broke is because of how far and how quick it lurched. Because, the first time it broke, I replaced it with Michael Myers' piece because his body quit turning, and they have the same part. So I did that, and it broke again. But the thing is, the step pads ended up wearing out, so I ended up putting them on the continuous mode. So that's probably why, too. I'm surprised hugz never broke at our store last year, because he was on sensor the whole time. His step pad never worked, and we had never had more to replace them with. So once they broke, we just turned them on sensor and let them go. Also, our store display hugz last year, someone stole his hand. It fell off and someone stole it, so he was handless. I actually had to go to Fargo to get this guy because we sold out. We only had 3 last year, I believe. And this year we've actually had 3 so far, but there's another coming in our truck. This is the 2018 model. Not that I don't think there's a difference between the 2018 and 2019 model. This one's mouth doesn't close all the way, but it works very well. Some of them move way better than others. This one's face looks pretty good. Some of them look kind of bad. That's the thing about these latex faces. They aren't all right. Lurching Zombie is the most different out of all these because he doesn't talk. He has one audio track. He just moans and then yells kind of when he lurches. He turns his head side to side, his mouth moves, his eyes light up green, and then he lurches forward. These all share one thing in common. they take too long to do their lurching animation. Especially the zombie. He takes the longest. People are long gone by the time Lurching Zombie does his. But even this year and last year, I've witnessed people step on the step pad for these, and they walk away before he does his lunging. A lot of people walk away from hugz before he does his lunging. So that's the only bad thing. And they have great sayings. It's just people in the stores don't listen to that. They just wait. They just think it when they see it talk. That's all it does. They don't wait for it to do something else. So they just walk away. I think hugz is pretty unique with the purple hair and the purple shoes, and I had him at the end of our tunnel last year in our yard. Pennywise is going to be in that spot this year. All the clowns are going to be like probably in the front yard mostly. Both of these I'm planning on using in the backyard this year. I'm planning on having these close together, Jack Straw in the middle, with these two on the side, and then the others wherever looks best. It might be different than that. I don't know. Anyways, Lurching Zombie was a 2014 Spirit Halloween exclusive. This one's latex isn't glued to the mouth, so it doesn't move the best. His sensor's right here. We had quite a few of these. The store display when the belt broke, I actually had to replace the split gear on this one in 2017 because it was already split. The same gear that splits in Jimmy items. I actually did a restoration video of that on this channel where I replaced it. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, these other ones just talk, they move their mouths, their eyes light up, and then they lurch, and their head tilts up when they lurch as well. Now, Lurching Reaper, they made a newer model, and Joseph from Australia, Totally Awesome, or Animatronics, whatever you know him as, he has the Australian version of it. It has different modes. It has a Spanish mode, a French mode, and a mode where it just laughs, lurches, and yells. This one only has the regular talking mode. He has about 4 or 5 sayings. hugz has 3. Looming Strawman has 4. And then Zombie has just 1 audio track. He was 200 or 230. I don't remember. These are 240. hugz is 210. The Looming Strawman is the most unique, though, because he has another mechanism that moves his arms. He has 2 mechanisms, one for the lurching, one for the arms. hugz and the Reaper just go with the lurching. But I was telling you about the new one. The newer version of the Reaper that's also has a better mechanism. It has the same mechanism as hugz, where the hand actually lifts all the way up. Like, these ones' arms don't move much on these Reapers. The newer models move a lot. Like I said, the newer ones move just like hugz arms. And I hope Joseph does a review so you can see what I'm talking about. But anyways, yeah. There is a Lurching Witch from Seasonal Visions and a werewolf. I really, really want the werewolf. There's one on eBay for like more than $500, and I ain't paying that. I really want the werewolf. Also, this one's shoulder design makes him look like he has a hump in his shoulder. And then the Witch, I don't really care about the Witch. I prefer the Reaper over the... out of hugz and Strawman, I like Strawman a little more. hugz is still great, though. Reaper and the Witch, I prefer the Reaper. And then Werewolf is just like the Zombie. It only has 1 audio track. It doesn't talk. It has the turning head. I think I actually prefer the Werewolf over the Zombie because it doesn't take as long to lurch, and it has a better mouth movement. So, I don't know. I don't have a lot of werewolves, and I'm really looking for that one. Anyways, I'm about ready to show you them in action. And all of these have bendable arms. So if you don't like the position they're in, you can actually bend their arms. It's very easy. I can show you. I don't know which one to show you on. All of them are bendable. See, like, you got to be careful how you do it, of course. Like, these ones are very bendable. Like, you use one hand to hold here and your other hand to bend whichever part you're bending. They can pose in many different ways. The Strawman's arms, if you want them to be in a different position, you can pose them in a different position. So even if he did have his original arms, I could pose them to be just like that if I really wanted it. So yeah. Right. Well, I'm going to start showing them now. I'm going to start with this Reaper. I will have to figure out which ones go to which now. Oh yeah, and last year in our yard, my Reaper wasn't really lurching. I had him. I guess maybe the area he was standing on wasn't like flat. But the year before where I had him, he didn't really lurch. But where I had him, he was close to the tunnel last year, and he lurched in that spot. So it must be something with the ground that he was sitting on, because he's lurching just fine now. But I was getting worried that his gear was already split too, because Jaden has the witch one, and the gear already split within a year. He's very loud too.
Want to play a game of tag?
Very loud.
If I catch you, you have to give up your soul. You're faster than you look. But don't worry, I'll get that soul one way or another.
He doesn't lurch the best. It's because of his scythe. There's a part where it connects to onto the base.
Do you think that you can sneak past the Reaper? I always know when your time has come. Lucky for you, it's not your time yet.
Again, you can bend this arm too. There's two separate pieces to this arm. It's connected, but it connects it right here in the middle.
But all it takes is one touch from me. You have escaped my grasp for now.
All of these guys are pretty durable. Just the piece that makes them lunge is plastic, which is why our circus blade broke, but that normally doesn't happen.
I have come to guide one of you into the afterlife. Come into my embrace and meet your fate. Don't worry, I will return for you soon enough.
See, that's what I mean.
Want to play a game of tag? If I catch you, you have to give up your soul. You're faster than you look. But don't worry, I'll get that soul one way or another.
I'll show you the other Reaper, even though it doesn't have all its parts. And you can swap their heads out. You can put his head on him. It's not going to affect them. It's just like the Jimmy items. They have the same plugs for the same features. I don't know if the zombie one would work, but yeah. All these others are pretty much the same, though. Did I plug this one in? Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah, I turned it off. That's why.
Want to play a game of tag? If I catch you, you have to give up your soul. You're faster than you look.
That one's missing the belt, too.
Don't worry, I'll get that soul one way or another.
And I'll show you that you can bend the arms. Better not stop my video.
Do you think that you can sneak past the Reaper? I always know when your time has come. Lucky for you, it's not your time.
I mean, they're fully bendable. Like, all of them are. The older seasonal vision items have really, really stiff arms, so the older ones may not be as bendable, but all the recent ones are bendable.
You have escaped my grasp.
Alright, now I'll do hugz. He has very good audio. He's not as loud as the Reaper, but yeah, his audio is pretty clear and good.
Hey there, friend. Welcome to the fun house.
He's got a leaf in his hair.
We've got fun, games, and
Apparently this clown is so popular that their Seasonal Visions made a costume for him this year, for kids and adults. And they even sell his sign separately so that you can wear it with your costume. That's kind of weird, but...
Step right up here. You'll do nice.
This is the only bad part about him.
Wow, you're a fast one. You there. Do you want to play a game? If I catch you, then I get to eat you. Gotcha! Oh, I missed. Ah, well, I'll just have to catch the next one then. Hey there, friend. Welcome to the fun house. Come a little closer. We've got fun and games and hugs. I'll get you next time.
And it's funny because all of them admit that they failed on catching you, except for the zombie because he doesn't talk. Here's Strawman.
That don't scare you none. Thinking that somebody's gonna grab you. Lucky for you.
See what I mean? This one was never used yet because he got this at the 50% off sale. So it hasn't been activated over 100 times in a row, which is why it's slow. And it gets staticky when it does the lunging, like the audio cuts out. That's all normal.
Gotcha. No way, you run fast when you have to. Good on you. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Again, in about 100 activations, it'll be fast.
Things are getting dead quiet around here. That's always the time when something comes out at you. Woo-hoo, I almost had one that time. You better watch out. I'm getting faster. With just one touch, I'd turn this harvest into a rotten heap. Maybe I can make the same of you.
See, it's getting better already.
Looks like you'll stay fresh for a little bit longer. I hear that these parts is haunted. That don't scare you none. Thinking that somebody's gonna grab you.
Look at how fast he is now. Already. Yeah, when you first get him and use him for the first time, he acts like his batteries are low.
You think you could sneak through my neck of the woods without dealing with me?
It's weird.
Gotcha.
Michael Myers is the same way. He starts out really slow, but the more you use him, the faster he gets.
Good on you.
I love his phrases. Like I said, this one's my favorite.
Things are getting dead quiet around here. That's always the time when something comes out.
So yeah, this one was worse than that at first, and I'm pretty sure this one's faster because it was used for 2 days in a row.
Watch out, I'm getting faster.
All right.
With just one touch,
This one goes.
that don't scare you none. Thinking that somebody's gonna grab you. Lucky for you, I'm the only thing haunted around here. You best skedaddle.
It looks retarded, I know. But look, it does move a lot faster. See how much further it lunged?
You think you could sneak through my neck of the woods without dealing with me? Gotcha! No way, you run fast when you have to. Good on you! Woo-hoo-hoo.
Okay, I posed the arms up so it looks more natural. I told you their arms are bendable. That one's a really short arm. This one's a really long arm.
Don't scare you none. Thinking that somebody's gonna grab you.
Look at that. Jesus.
I'm the only thing haunted around here. You best skedaddle now. You think you could sneak through my neck of the woods without dealing with me? Gotcha! No way, you run fast when you have to. Good on you! Woo-hoo-hoo.
Now here's the zombie, and I told you he's fried, his audio. My God. Told you his mouth needs to be re-glued to the plastic so it actually moves. Yeah, he has a mechanism that lifts his head, turns his head, and lurches him. So he has actually a lot of mechanisms. Yeah, most of them are made so that their mouths don't close all the way. They're like glued like this. So it's supposed to move like that. It's supposed to move like that. If it's glued, that's how it moves. Jeez. Look at this one. I posed the arms up so it looks more natural. That arm is really short, that one's really long. Like I said, they're from completely different seasonal vision items. They actually are the arms that have springs on them. That's all I have right now, though.
Don't worry, I'll get that soul one way or another. Do you think that you may pass the
This looks so cool.
Do you think that you can sneak past the reaper? Here again, I always know when your time has come. You will escape my grasp. Do you mean me? Gotcha!
I still need the werewolf one of these. Oh my god, his pants!
Watch out! I'll get faster game. Just turn this forest into a rotten heap. Maybe I'll give it the same with you. Once a bad game, just time to guide one of my kids to the afterlife. The soul favorites. After eating live, don't worry, she will get that soul on the way under that. Looking for you. Do you think that you can sneak past the reaper? I always know when your time has come.
That one's on continuous mode.
Not your time. You run fast when you have to. Good on you. Woo-hoo-hoo. Things are getting dead quiet around here.
Jeez. I think he's on continuous mode too.
Looks like you'll stay fresh for a little bit longer.
Yeah, he's on continuous too.